Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike. Thanks for taking a minute of your day to spend it with me. Today's February the 1st. There are 15 horror movies coming out this month. There's even more than that. But some of them we're not even going to talk about because they look like they were filmed with a potato and written by a 12-year-old. But the ones that at least look like they have a chance to be decent or good or scary, they're going to be in this list. It is a great time to be a horror fan right now. Let's get right into it. Starting this Friday, a wide release film, probably the biggest release of the entire month. M. Night Shyamalan's A Knock at the Cabin starring Dave Bautista. I love M. Night Shyamalan. He's one of my favorite directors out there. I realize that he has huge misses, and some people have been sore in the ass at him ever since The End of the Village, and I understand that, but I still love it. I love a director who swings for the fences. I love the way he films. I love the style of his movies. I love the way everybody weird whisper talks and everything's so serious all the time. And Signs is one of my top 5 favorite movies in the history of the world. So, that being said, this looks like it's going to be a good one, but it's about a family who goes out to a cabin in the woods, and then Bautista and these other two weird fucks show up, and it's kind of like a strangers type situation, but then they explain, no, we're actually good people, but the thing is that you guys have to decide which one of you is going to be sacrificed, or the whole world's going to end. This is not our fault. We were chosen for it, like jury duty. You got to choose, and if you don't, hey, watch this. The whole world is ending around you as you decide. So hurry the fuck up, sweetheart. And it looks like it's going to be super tense, super emotional, and I'm really excited for the latest horror thriller from M. Night Shyamalan. So that's this Friday, Thursday night, some places. Now, something that's coming out this Friday on VOD is a movie called Baby Ruby, starring Naomi Morlant and John fucking Snow himself. Kit Harington's in this movie. And basically this woman who has a very, very controlled world that she lives in has a baby, and she thinks she's just going to be the greatest mother ever, but then the baby just never, ever shuts the fuck up. The baby never, ever stops crying, and she starts to lose her mind a little bit and goes crazy, and I don't know where it all leads to, but it doesn't look like it leads anywhere good, considering in the trailer there's a dog eating what looks like to be a piece of a child. I hope to God that's just a bad dream or something in the movie, but this one looks darkly fucked up. And it's actually really freaky, because if you think about postpartum depression that some women have to deal with after they have children, it's a real ass thing, and it's a scary thing, and it looks like they're playing with that here. So that looks like it's a movie that might fuck you up a little bit. This one has, we'll call this one of the ones that has a potential to actually be scary. February 7th brings us, I believe, on VOD, a movie called Woman of the Photographs. Now, this is a subtitled foreign film, and it's hard to tell what's going on. It is one of those artsy-fartsy kind of horror movies. From what I gather, it's a weird shit movie where this woman's obsessed with her online looks, like her filters and shit like that, and there's this older man who's like obsessed with taking pictures of her. There's a lot of talk about praying mantises and how women devour their partner after they have sex as praying mantises. We've all seen it happen. I don't know, it's a weird shit trailer. It's gonna be a weird shit movie. I'm gonna call this the potential to be the scariest movie of the entire month, The Outwaters. This movie is a found footage movie where this group of musicians go out to the desert and just awful, terrible, no good, bad shit happens to them. If you watch this trailer, it is so unsettling. And apparently everyone who's seen it has said that it's literally gonna ruin your goddamn life. It's a trailer that gives me like Hereditary type vibes, not in the same type of movie, but you remember how you saw that and you just knew this one's gonna hit different? It kind of seems like that kind of scary movie that's like, you're not gonna have fun watching this movie. It's going to be like swallowing broken glass. Get in the van, we're going to Fucktown. And that's going to release on February the 9th in some theaters, so hopefully we're all lucky enough that's where it comes around here, and then it's going to release soon after that on digital or on streaming. On February the 10th on VOD, She Came from the Woods. Not to be confused with the Pornhub version of the movie, We All Come in the Woods on Larry. Larry's such a slut. In this movie, a bunch of campers and counselors at a lake, stop me if you heard this one before, they accidentally unleash this crazy evil, and it starts picking them off one by one. This is your typical super love letter to 80s slasher fans. It's comedy, slasher horror mixed with all those tropes and stuff like that. It's the 80s nostalgia throwback. It's the campers. It's all the things that we've seen 100 times before. And for me, this stuff is a little bit too on the nose at this point. We've just got too many movies like this. But for people who are huge, hardcore Friday the 13th and aren't really sick of that trope, it looks like it could be a decent time. It looks pretty low budget, but it does star William Sadler. February the 10th on VOD, we go back to Serious Town with a movie called Daughter, and it stars Casper Van Dien. Yes, that fucking Casper Van Dien. And this again is not an A24 film, but it feels like an A24 film. And it looks like they're in this post-apocalyptic world, unless we have another Village situation twist type thing going on. And it appears as though this weird fuck family has lost their daughter, so they kidnap this other daughter, bring her into the house, train her in the basement, and try to teach her in the ways of fucking Heaven's Gate people. This is one I'll wait to see what people think about it, honestly. And I usually don't do that, but the trailer gives me this vibe. It's either going to be really good and really well acted, or it's going to be one of those movies that wants to be highfalutin, but that just doesn't have the tools in the tool shed. Also on February 10th, coming to VOD as well, is a movie called Disquiet. Now, this one stars Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. This dude gets in a car wreck, right? And he wakes up and it's a 28 days later type situation, but then it becomes a grave encounters type situation, whereas he's locked in a hospital and people's faces keep turning ooey gooey on him and a bunch of weird shit keeps happening. Now, this movie looks like shit. It does. It does look like shit. But there's something about it that looks really entertaining as well. I can't put my finger in it, but there's just something like the acting in this trailer is so bad.
Hey! Run!
Who were those women?
But I do like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and some of the ooey gooey face kind of reminds me of like the House on Haunted Hill remake, which I think was pretty entertaining. I'm gonna watch this movie, and I don't know, we could have a Mortal Kombat Annihilation type situation on our hands where it could just be that bad, but it's got me. There's something about it has its finger inside of me now. Also on February the 10th in some theaters, and then on March 3rd it comes to VOD. So we don't know how many theaters this is going to be in then. I really wish they would stop being so fucking confusing with when us normal folk are actually going to be able to see some of these movies. But anyways, Consecration, starring Jenna Malone, another film that has an A24 type vibe to it. That's just a whole subgenre at this point, I guess. I guess you call it elevated horror, whatever you want to say. But a movie with a crazy violin in the background that takes itself seriously, and it stars Jenna Malone, who goes to investigate her priest brother's death. They say he killed himself, but he's just not the type of dude to do it. And then she comes across this group of freaky-ass nuns and a priest played by the great Danny Houston, and there's fuckery afoot. This one also actually has the capacity to be scary. It looks like it's going to be not as supernatural as you may think, but just a bunch of crazy fucks. And for me, when you mix religion and horror in the right ways, it can be scary as shit tits. February the 14th on Valentine's Day, Project Wolf Hunting comes out. Now, this is another subtitled movie and basically it's a bunch of people on this cargo ship, prisoners that are being transported, and there's a prison riot that unleashes sinister forces. And all I know about this is that I didn't think the trailer looked very good at all, but when the trailer came out for this, everybody who had seen this in film festivals was going crazy on Twitter saying this movie is fucking action-packed and it's one of the grossest, gnarliest, goriest movies you'll ever see in your entire life. But apparently it's a lot of action mixed with a lot of gore. It's like The Raid meets Train to Busan type of shit, and that sounds pretty interesting to me. Also on Valentine's Day, we got two more coming out on Valentine's Day. There's something about love and people getting their insides ripped out. Huesera, the Bone Woman, this is the second movie about maternity that comes out this month, and this woman who's always wanted to have kids gets pregnant, and this is another one with subtitles, by the way. She gets pregnant, and she just doesn't feel right. She feels off. And there's a whole lot of, hey, you know what sucks about being pregnant? It feels like your bones are breaking all the time. And then there's a whole lot of this woman like popping her fingers and shit, and then all of a sudden bones snapping everywhere, and there's a baby breaking its crib, and there's a whole lot of snap, crackle, popping going on, and a lot of that herky-jerky movement stuff that Jay hates so bad. There's a woman in the street that's like, and a lot of shit like that going on. This trailer looks creepy as shit. And again, kind of a throwback, it feels like, to those early 2000s herky-jerky type films that came out a lot. So I'm interested in this one for sure. That's coming out on VOD, and then in one night only in theaters before it gets released wherever they're going to release it, the Winnie-the-Pooh horror movie, Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey, comes out. Look, I think that this looks like a frozen chunk of poopy. I think that it's just like that Grinch movie that came out, the mean one. I think they're taking the IP for something, and because it's the IP and it's so kitschy and gimmicky, people are excited about it, but I haven't seen a single thing about the trailers or anything that makes me think that this is going to be... I know some stuff can be so bad it's good, but this doesn't... To me, it doesn't even look like it's going to be entertaining in a bad way. But hey, a lot of people think it will be. It's the Winnie-the-Pooh slasher movie, and that's going to be in theaters for one night. Probably one of those over-expensive Fathom events type things that they do. February 22nd on Netflix, which does not have a lot of horror coming to it this month, or really ever anymore, but on Netflix, February 22nd, there's a movie called The Strays coming out. Now, this involves this woman who lives this highfalutin lifestyle, and then everything goes wrong when these two people start showing up and doing the fucking It Follows thing after, and then it looks like they have this sinister plan to fuck shit up in the town, and everybody thinks she's crazy. It has supreme, almost too on the nose Get Out vibes and Us vibes to it. I mean, just the cinematography, the way it's all shot, If you told me that this was Jordan Peele's next movie, I would believe you. We'll see if that turns out to be a good thing or if it's just too on the nose. I can't really get a pulse on whether or not this is going to be a good movie, but I can tell you the cinematography is beautiful. February 24th brings us my favorite two things to mix together: hardcore drugs and wildlife. Cocaine Bear comes out, directed by Elizabeth Banks, based on a true story that has absolutely nothing to do with the actual story that took place. It's a bear that gets high on cocaine and goes on a goddamn rampage. And it's Ray Liotta's last movie, so it's worth seeing just for that alone. I have no idea. I just think it's hilarious that in the theater they have right next to like the fucking kids movies, there's just like there's a bear with cocaine all over its nose in the movie theater, and it's playing like during the football games and stuff. I love that what a wide release this movie is going to be and how everybody's talking about it, because you would think it would just be one of those really cool, fun movie ideas that just goes straight to VOD, but they're marketing the shit out of it. It's fun. I love it. What a time to be alive. Cocaine Bear comes out. That's a must-see in my opinion for the month. And then finally, the last movie we have, it comes to Netflix on February 24th as well. We Have a Ghost. Now this one's more of a kids type horror movie. It looks more like it's gonna be like a Ghost Dad type situation. It's a PG movie or whatever. Directed by Christopher Landon, who directed, what the fuck did he direct? Happy Death Day. It stars David Harbour, who everybody loves. It stars Anthony Mackie, everybody loves as well. And it's about a family who the ghost played by David Harbour haunts them, and then they start recording him, and they become social media sensations, and everything goes wackadoo Ghostbuster style. You know, it's cool that these movies exist because they're nice gateway horror for younger people, and they're movies about the spooky stuff that you can actually watch with kids. And I think there's a place for that. It's awesome that stuff exists, even if it's not for us grown folks. You know, as I talk to my YouTube video with my toys in the background. But yeah, guys, that's 15 horror movies that are coming out this month in February. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you had a good time with this video, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button. And if you like videos about horror movies that's coming out, I'm planning on maybe doing this every single month if it does okay. So make sure you click subscribe and the bell so that you get more shit like this. Yeah. I love your fucking faces. Hey, what's the top 3 movies on this list that you're planning on definitely seeing this month? Comment down below, let me know. I love your fucking faces. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Halloween never ends, suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box, or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not, yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS. Cause Halloween never ends, Halloween never ends, Halloween never ends, yeah.